Son of a... Hey, boys and girls, welcome to the first issue of Mad Murphy, where I take a few topics that are pissing me off, and I simply rant about them. I'm in no way an expert in any of these topics. These are simply my opinions based off what I've seen, heard, or read. And if anything I have to say angers you, just get over it. If you wish to make a counterpoint on any of these topics, please feel free to email me with the WHP contact form at wellhey.com/contact, or simply add a comment to this video. I will not and absolutely refuse to address any idiot who wants to start a screaming match with me by starting off, including, or ending with insults. These are just my opinions, just as you are entitled to yours. So if you want my respect and have a mature debate, then you may want to start off with some respect as well. You ready? Alright, let's dive in. I'm going to start things off with the two things that piss me off the most right now, and that's entitlement and labels. And I actually feel these topics actually dovetail each other, which is why I'm going to stick to these two issues alone. Now, we've all run into that one person who thinks the world owes them something just for being born. Why don't I have my own show? Why don't I have a record deal? Why don't I have a penis? Why don't I have $1 million? I can just insult anyone I want, just because I can. Someone get me my sterilization hammer. These people need to be removed from the gene pool. It seems a large percentage of the entire world thinks that just because you were born, you should get a trophy. Why? Last time I checked, your mother should be getting that trophy. She had to put up with your kicking and turning and weird cravings and lack of sleep and general pain and uncomfortability, only to have the entire thing come to a head and deal with more agonizing pain and possibly vaginal trauma for evicting your ass from her body. Then what do you do for the next 18 years? Bitch and moan that life's not fair, the world sucks, your parents are stupid, and you just have to have the latest smartphone just because Jenny down the street has one. What the fuck's the matter with you? I've also noticed that the biggest and whiniest of these ingrates still live at home and have no plans of moving out of mommy and daddy's place anytime soon. This is a message for mom and dad. Kick them out. Just do it. Trust me, every bird needs to learn how to fly, and allowing them to stick around is not helping them. Say something happens to mom and dad and baby bird is all alone. What then? How will baby bird survive? Sad fact, they won't. It is the job of the parents to arm their child with the skills that they will use to survive and thrive in the future. It is the job of the parent to develop the talents that will allow their child to thrive. It is your job to make sure your child functions without you when they are old enough. I bring this up mainly because I think this entitlement thing did not happen overnight. There is an entire generation of parents that want their kids to be their friends. They will bend over backwards to make sure that their kids like them. It is not your job to make them like you. If you do your job correctly, then your kids will like you on their own. You cannot force love. And I think this is where the whole entitlement thing stems from. Parents spoil their kids, and when the kids have to make it on their own and find out very quickly that that shit don't fly in the real world, they complain and they whine so much, the real world just doesn't know how to take it, so it buckled, and now it's everywhere. Why don't I have a corner office? Why don't I get a raise? Why don't I have a company car? Why don't I have this? Why don't I have that? Jesus, Harold fucking Christ on the cross, shut the fuck up already! Now, I'm not saying I'm an authority on the matter, but I've gone through my fair share of obstacles in my life, and I'm very thankful for everything I have. Why am I thankful? Because I fucking earned it. Not much is simply handed to me, simply because my parents thought it would be a good idea if that I worked my butt off, I would appreciate things more. Crazy, I know, but guess what? It works. I never look at an issue as, oh my god, what am I gonna do now? I see them more as, again, really? Alright, here we go. There has been a lot thrown at me, and if it hasn't, I know I'll be able to deal with it accordingly. How does this compare to one of the entitled? Well, put this image in your head. Kim Kardashian, all alone, with a dead smartphone and a flat tire on her car. Just let that sink in for a little bit. Imagine that. I have seen people flip out over the simplest shit that would drive any common sense holder absolutely fucking nuts. They are simply not prepared for anything that life throws at them, and their first reaction is always the same. Always the same. It's not fair. Newsflash, Pamela. Life's not fucking fair. It will never be fair. Ever, 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 never, ever, 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 ever be fair. If life deals you a bad hand and you decide that you're too important to deal with it, karma's just gonna come along and make it fucking worse. You wanna complain some more? Bam! Karma's got her big old donkey dick up your ass. You are karma's bitch. So what can anyone do about it? Well, first off, if you're actually asking this question, you're already better off than millions of the retards that are still waiting for their ship to come in. There's millions of things you can do to better yourself, and the sad thing is, you already know 900,000 of them. Ask questions, take a class, start a new hobby, read more, listen! Listen! Simple, listen! That's a big one. Listening can increase your usefulness in society by 100%. If you're willing to listen to what other people think of you, or what you could be doing to better yourself, oh my fucking god, Nancy, you will already be so much better than you have ever dreamed. The main reason I pair labels with entitlement is because in my mind, if you feel entitled, you need to label yourself. It's like ranking and comparing yourself to everyone else. You just have to be different. You can't be like anyone else because we're all different and you have nothing in common with everybody else. Therefore, you have to attach a special tag that gives you a sense of purpose that will drive you to allow you to stand out from the crowd and hopefully be noticed for your ingenuity and thoughtfulness. When the simple fact is that you don't like the other idiot that's sitting right next to you and you want to remove yourself from them as far as possible. You greedy little cunt. Come here. Let me kick you in the teeth. I absolutely hate labels. Why? Why do we need any more reason to try to separate ourselves from the rest of everyone when we should be teaching each other that no one's really that different from everyone else? Don't believe me? Okay, let's take a quick survey. Do you want to be loved? Do you want to be listened to? Do you want to have friends? Do you want others to respect you? If you answered yes to at least one of these questions, congratulations! You are now in the greater collective called the human race! No more transgender, no more cis privilege, no more black, white, yellow, red, purple, green, American, or whatever. Just be you, or be Sally, or Murphy, or Jimmy, or Bomb Shaquita LaFondria. I don't give a shit. There is only one acceptable label in my mind, and that is the space-marked first name on your birth certificate. But Murphy, what if I don't like who I am? How is that everyone else's problem? How is the fact that you don't like who you are any concern of anyone else's? This is what labels do. They project your bullshit onto others and force them to recognize that you simply cannot deal with what life throws at you. But I don't like the fact that I feel like I'm a woman that was born in a man's body, and I need you to recognize that. Fine, I don't like the fact that the doctor nearly botched my circumcision, so now I have a giant scar down the length of my cock. But I don't give a shit if you recognize that or not. That's my shit that I have to deal with, and I try not to make it anyone else's business. Except now, but there's still a big difference. I may not like my personal imperfections, but I deal with them the best I can. Everyone has issues. Everyone. Yes. Everyone. You are not special. You are not alone. Anyone who tells you that they don't have issues either doesn't know about them or is a goddamn liar. I will repeat, no one is special. Your problems are not my problems, and it makes you the asshole if you even fathom the thought of making your problems my problems. This is actually starting to dovetail on another topic that I'll bring up next time about my beliefs, so we'll stop now and continue with that for the next issue. Hey, if you've stuck around this long, I want to thank you for letting me air out my grievances. Believe me, I got lots of them. So I'll just close out with a few good things to think about. It doesn't matter what your religion is. I think we can all believe that treat others as you wish to be treated is a pretty decent rule to live by. So why don't we all just stop the fighting and just treat each other the way we like to be treated? You can never have too much of a good thing. Unless it's beer, then drink responsibly. I look at all of my friends and my fans as younger brothers and sisters. I am not simply yelling just to yell. I just don't want you to make the same mistakes that I have. So if I go off on you individually, it's because I see you're about to hit that point where you're going to turn into me, and we can't have any more Murphys. The world can barely tolerate one. If you missed any of this Mad Murphy issue, the transcript is going to be posted on WellHey.com, so stop on by and enjoy the insanity. And if you have a suggestion of a topic that you'd like to hear my opinion about, you can let me know in the comments or at WellHey.com/contact. As always, you can catch me say hi on Facebook, Twitter, or Tumblr, and, of course, YouTube. This is Murphy 1976 of WellHey Productions, where we bring you colorful insanity to your drab, uneventful lives.